Hey guys, thanks so much for being here for our Tuesday night DFG call. I am super excited about our lovely host tonight. She is one of my longest friends that's on the team. She and I have known each other for a long time. We have grown, we've watched each other grow over the past, it's probably nearing 15 years now, and can't be more proud of the woman that she has become. She is amazing in so many ways, talented beyond measure, and she's a fantastic Beachbody coach, which she didn't even really think that she was going to be. She questioned the crap out of this business, okay? But I'm so thrilled that she saw the light. She convinced her lovely husband, Adam, that this was going to be a good thing, and now she is ranked like 136 in the business, which if you don't know now, like top 200 in Beachbody is like the place to be. So she's well into that. She's a 5-star diamond, and she just kind of effortlessly does this, it seems, but she's going to tell you exactly what she does and how it's not really effortlessly, that she does put in some effort. So I'm thrilled to welcome our beautiful Danette, and I'm going to get off so she can get going. Come on, baby.
Okay, good. So this is my first call, and I have no idea how this is going to go, so just bear with me. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about myself. My name is Danette. I'm a mom to 4 little boys. Been married to my high school sweetheart for 15 years, and I'm going to preface that saying that Adam is a tightwad. So just when you hear my background, keep that in your mind for all you women out there or men out there who have spouses who strongly resisted this because of money. So my background in Beachbody is I became a coach literally for the discount because I saw my friend from college, Miss Lindsay Stay, get in incredible shape after having her baby, and I was super intrigued. I stalked her for months before I reached out. She and I have laughed because she called me a silent creeper, always liking and watching her every move, but never quite, pulling the punch. So even if people are not reaching out to you, they are watching you. They're watching. Okay. So finally, I tried Shakeology and was, of course, hooked. And I convinced my husband to let me sign up as a coach. It took 4 months. Thanks, Adam. And this is all because he did not want to pay $16 a month for the website fee. So after I signed, I very quickly realized the potential in this business. But my only goal at this point was to get a discount. Money was really tight, and my husband strongly resisted me signing as a coach. And that's all I ever wanted out of it. That's it. Like, I was not going to do anything but sell 3 bags a month. That's it. Then he started stealing my shakes. It's not good for a marriage when your spouse starts stealing your Shakeology. Like, it's not. So then my goal became, and I'm very goal-oriented. Like, if I have a goal, I will do everything in my power to make that goal. So then it became, I had to sell 6 bags a month of Shakeology to get ours paid for, so that he would be cool with the $16 a month fee, which seems so silly now. So the first few months of coaching were fairly easy for me. I was able to pay for me and Adam shakes even a week at the beach for our family. It was great. I was comfortable. Life was getting a little more exciting as a stay-at-home mom, but I was definitely doing less than the bare minimum as a coach. And I thought, this is great. This is the easiest money I've ever made. I did maybe 2 to 3 posts per week, and that was not even Beachbody related. That's just where I was with my social media. I think I had 400 friends at the time, but I was still very much in my world. So every few weeks I might post something about Shakeology or Beachbody. So when I did, it had success for the first few months. So of course, when my warm market dried up, so did my business. I had 7 discount coaches in 1 week quit. 1 week. So smooth sailing went to freak out. oh my gosh. And then so people were no longer asking me what I was doing or what the shake was all about. I realized I was failing, and no matter how many stock photos of Shakeology and challenge packs I posted, I got nada, nothing, zip, nothing. And so that's when the business kind of became work for me, and I didn't know what to do with it, because there will become a point in your business where it becomes hard and you have to start working. It's usually easier, not for everyone, but easier in the beginning. Things kind of happen naturally, and then there becomes a point where you've completely dried up your warm market, and you have to get a little bit more creative in how you run your business. But that's when it gets good, trust me. So back to the 7 coaches in 1 week, that was really tough. I felt like a failure. I worked hard to get those coaches. So I reached out to my friend and my coach, and I was desperate. I said, what do I do and how do I make them stay? And her advice was not what I wanted to hear. I'll never forget it. She said, let them go and read your personal development. Let them go and read your personal development. That's not advice. That's a freaking parable. Like, give me an X, Y, and Z, how to make them stay. And she couldn't do that. So, let me turn this off really quick. So that was a parable. I had not read personal development once since becoming a coach, and this was probably 4 to 6 months into being a coach. I would send her funny text messages of like a Victoria's Secret catalog and say, reading my personal development. That's how seriously I took it. I didn't think I had time for it. I didn't think I needed it. And so I was just supposed to let them go. Half of my team was walking away, and I'm supposed to blow kisses like, okay. So naturally I was upset. I was ready to quit, and I did. I took a 4-month pity party. I was still an active coach, not posting about it, not caring about Success Club, not trying to get coaches. And then one day, because I kept seeing the consistency in my coach and the success that she was having and how much she believed in the business and believed in the products, I decided to swallow my pride and start reading personal development. I started doing the basics, posting 3 to 4 times a day, cycling my 5 topics, engaging with my audience, growing my following, adding new people, being open and transparent, and not worrying about who I was annoying, for sharing what was honestly working for me. So in that 4 months that I kind of like shut down and had my pity party, I was still drinking my shakes every day. I still very much was in love with the products and, you know, knew that there was potential in this. I wasn't making any money. I maybe made like $30 a month. And I really just like shut down. I think a lot of people do that when they feel defeated. And that was definitely where I was. But and it was truly the consistency in Lindsay that made me think like, am I being the moron here or is she? Love you, Lindsay. And then whenever I realized like, I'm the dodo head. Like, she's got it all right. And I couldn't take some solid advice that it just really wasn't what I wanted to hear. And so I put my big girl panties on and I made up my mind I was going to succeed at this, and I did. So I stopped blaming my business on my coach. She's not my boss. She's my friend. She's my biggest cheerleader. She's my supporter. And that is how you as a coach can help your coaches more than any other way, I believe, is just by letting them see the potential, painting the picture of what this business is and what it can do, and letting them know that it's at their grasp if they just choose to go for it. So So when a flip switched in me, that's whenever I realized I can do this. I'm going to do this. This is way more important to me than I ever thought it was, because I was so devastated when it didn't work out and I felt like such a failure. So I started setting goals. I realized that my success had nothing to do with my coach. I could have all the knowledge in the world until I had that burning desire, a fire, to do it full throttle. No amount of knowledge would matter. Guys, my coaches that have gone to diamond really quickly, or even emerald really quickly, it's not because I've held their hand. It's because they had a fire in them that realized, didn't overthink the business, because you really can't do that. If you stress yourself out with all of the little details and like the volume and the this and the that, like they might shut down unless they need to know that kind of stuff. And then, you can give them access to the training. For me personally, Lindsay tried to tell me about how the legs worked and all that. And I said, you know what, you've already lost me. Like, I don't need to know how it works. I just need to do it. So I think overwhelming yourself with getting started is not going to help you in any way. Like I said, all the knowledge in the world is really nothing if you don't apply it. So it's something that you just have to do. You just have to have that fire to want it, and you just have to do it. Maybe that's bad advice, and I know there are some people who want to know it all before they start doing it. But if I'm attracting people like me, I tell them not to stress the big picture, just to work on your own fitness journey. Share about it. It's that simple. That's really what this business comes down to. Working on your own journey, sharing about it, and that's it. Sorry, I got to take a sip of water. So after this, I went diamond, and I started for the first time attracting people just like me. The more momentum that you start building as a coach, the more credibility you will build to your audience. And if you're not quite there yet, if you're not even emerald yet, you fake it till you make it. You act like the coach that you know you're going to be soon. Does that make sense? Yes. It's not like you're living a lie, but if you're helping people, or you know you're going to be helping people, share about that. If you know you're hitting goals, or you're going to hit goals that month, share about them. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some social media tips, because I feel like this is my strong suit in this business. So a lot of this you've, I'm sure, heard before. I just might give you a little different spin on it. Or maybe just hearing it from someone else will resonate with you. First of all, make sure your profile is public. Not your profile picture, your profile. Keeping it private is seriously the kiss of death. You have no way of reaching your cold market if your profile is private. And then this is super important. Make sure people can follow you. So people who are afraid to friend request you, or just sort of interested in what you're doing, but they're not really sure, or they don't friend people lightheartedly, I don't know. Make sure that you have an option for them to follow you. I think I have close to 4,000 friends, but I have like 4,000 followers. So that's a total of 8,000 people. And that, I think you max out when you're like at 5,000 friends. So it's just another way to add to your audience. So I'm not exactly sure where in your settings it is, but somewhere in there, there's an option for people to follow you without friending you. And it's just like something they click, and then I get like notifications every day, like so-and-so's following you. And if it looks like someone creepy, then I just block them. I carefully screen who follows me. And okay, this is super important. And for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a photographer, and I think it's super important to have well-lit pictures. So have your profile picture be something attention-grabbing, something that if you see a teeny tiny square of it, it makes you want to see it bigger. It makes you want to click on it and say, oh, that person looks interesting. It has to draw people in, and it's more important than you think. good lighting is so important. That's why I have 3 lights in front of me right now. Because as a photographer, I just think that it sets you up. It's just another way to set you apart, really. And it doesn't have to be like, I just happen to have lights. If you don't, go in front of a window and take a picture. Don't turn your back to the window. Just make sure it's well lit and a good representation of the prettiness that you're trying to exude in the photo, whether it's of your Shakeology. Like, I usually stage pictures that I post of food and stuff and make sure it's well lit in front of a window. And I might even bring it to my office and put it on my desk and take a picture of it like that, just so it looks pretty. Okay. Don't overthink your posts, but don't underthink them either. So this is a tough one to try to explain, but what my thought process is on that. But a good example would be like someone would post something that says laundry day. Okay, well, that's not interesting. That's not fun. But so in that case, if I was like trying to make it a little bit more like relatable, because you have to be relatable in everything that you do, I would literally go in my laundry room and dump out baskets of the 15 loads of laundry that I had to do and make it into like the biggest, messiest mountain I could and make it all dramatic, and then snap a picture and say something like clever, like, my kids will be in college before I get done with this laundry, or something, you know, something like that. So just try to think outside the box a little bit in your posts, instead of saying laundry day or, you know, whatever. Just, it makes people feel like they know you. It puts your personality and your humor into things, which I think is so important, and it makes people more interested in what you're doing. Share tidbits of your everyday life, your dog, your kids, your relationship, your hobbies, your loves, your passions. And if you don't know what these are, I recommend that you just take a few minutes, an afternoon, whatever, to just soul search yourself and find out what makes you tick and what makes up your blueprint, so that you know how to share the interesting parts of your life that will attract people like you. So once you find those, I would recommend picking 5 things. And this is like preached in the Bombshell Dynasty. This is nothing new, but it's good. So I'm going to cover it. Once you find those, pick 5 that are the most important and rotate posts about the topic. And try to do it in a way that shares your passion. Make it relate to you in a way that channels your audience's emotions. Not in a mind game, but in genuinely get people thinking. So this is tough. You basically just want to really make your passion exude in everything that you post about, which, I mean, there's going to be some things where you're like, oh, buying hockey equipment or, you know, whatever. But every post should be somewhat intentional of how you want it to, someone to find some kind of relation to it, if that makes any sense. The more you share your loves and your passions, the more you will attract people just like you. My team, no joke, is built up of beauty queens, makeup lovers, moms of boys, kind hearts, driven people, because that is the net that I throw. Like, my team, if you saw all 50 of us or whatever, my personal sponsor coaches in a room, you would be like, okay, they look like, you know, they look like someone that I would imagine she would hang out with. And I think that's true in a lot of teens, is they attract people like themselves. I don't know. And it makes it a lot more fun, because then you're doing life with people that are like you, and just makes it a little bit more there. It also makes people more relatable to what you're doing, and they're kind of motivated the same way you are. Like, I know my team does not want to be pressured. I know they don't want me saying, why haven't you made Success Club this month? You know, they're like me. Like, if Lindsay would have said, it's day 23 of the month and you have 0 Success Club points, I would be like, oh my God, like I would shut down. So I kind of treat my coaches like I would want to be treated. And I think that's because I've attracted people that on one of those 5 rotations relate to a piece of me that's really big of, that I've soul searched for, and it's resonated with them. Always make a post with a photo. Maybe it's a photographer for me, I don't know, but it's definitely more attention grabbing and visually appealing, because okay, look at me. You're marketing yourself. You are your own brand. Really get that in your head. Like, you are a brand. How people visually see you on your social media is how you're represented, is how your brand comes apart. You're the face of your Beachbody company. Do you think Beachbody was cool? This is a serious question. Before Lindsay Matway was a Beachbody coach. I can't hear you. I'm just kidding. I really think that she made it thebomb.com, because it was before Lindsay. I'm sure it was just like any other cheesy MLM. People would reach out to, strangers and say, you want to try Shakeology? But no, she branded herself and created the bombshell dynasty that like everyone and their mom wanted to be a part of, simply by being herself. She made it really cool, and she attracted people just like her. So if you think of it as your brand, I think it might change the face of how you run it, sort of. Okay, stop feeling guilty for inviting your friends and family to be a part of this journey. This is something else that I really struggled with. But one day I had an epiphany of I started seeing this business as nothing more than a gift. I feel like when Lindsay introduced me to this business, it was truly like the biggest gift I have been given. And I tell her that because, she knows how much this has completely changed our life. I went from being a really lonely stay-at-home mom with not much ambition, which is great. My ambition was my kids, which is fantastic. But there was definitely a void of doing something for me. And like when I started helping people lose weight and get healthy and making money doing it, and now making more than my husband, and he's really proud of that. I'm not undermining him at all. But I'm like right now averaging $3,500 a week from helping people. Like, our lives are completely changed. They are not what they would have been if this business had never been introduced to us. So in my mind, like, this is the biggest gift I can to give people. And so when you change your mentality of being skittish to invite people, think about that. Think about they're sitting on $1 million business and it's at their grasp. All they have to do is the basics and grab after it, and it's available to them. So this is not like you trying to make money off of your friends. This is you helping to get them healthy and helping them to completely change the entire future of their family. So you definitely want to soul search about what inspires you, and then be that person. For me, I'm inspired by beautiful, successful women. Do I think that's what I am? No. I see how far I still have to go. But because that's what inspires me, that's what I strive every day to be. I'm always working towards what inspires me. And that's what you will attract. And that goes back to my team. I'm attracting successful, beautiful women because that's what inspires me. And that's the net that I'm casting. That's what I'm getting back. If you're going through, and we all have these times where we're like, what do I post about? I have nothing interesting to post. That's when it's a good idea, I think. Or if you're starting this off and you're overwhelmed by this call and you're like, my social media sucks, then I would draw inspiration from top coaches that you admire and mimic, not duplicate, mimic something that speaks to you, and then soul search why it speaks to you. why it struck a chord with you, and be that for someone else. So take their idea that is so profound to you and apply it to your life and twist it and use that to strike a chord with someone else, because those heartfelt posts are so important. And I'll talk about why in just a second, but don't ever copy someone's idea or thought. That person worked really hard to pour their heart and soul into writing it. Just draw inspiration and notice what kind of posts resonate with your soul. Always be authentic to you to draw people like you. This is kind of a funny example, but Beachbody coaches are like known for posting sweaty selfies. No makeup, sweaty selfies. And I, honest to God, went through a period where I felt like a failure as a coach because I knew I would never post a sweaty selfie post. It's not a vanity thing. It's just not a good look for me. Like, it's not cute. Some people can pull it off and rock it well, but not me. And I had to really realize one day, like, it's okay if I don't post a no makeup sweaty selfie. Like, that's not who I am. That's what someone else is. And they are amazing for doing that. But that's just not me. So I'm being true to myself by not posting sweaty selfies, not by posting sweaty selfies. So and that's just a really crappy example, but just think about like how you can stop comparing yourself to other people and feeling like you have to do what other people are doing, and do you. Just 1,000% do you. And I probably attract coaches that don't necessarily post sweaty selfies either. I don't know. I have to check their feeds. The really cool thing about social media is you can pick and choose what you put on it. So choose wisely. I'm sure people look at my page and think they know pretty much everything there is to know about me and my life. It's an open book. My family, my life, all of that, but not even close. So for coaches weary of being an open book, keep in mind you're in control of what goes on your social media, and you can post your life at the same time. Again, I don't feel like that even makes sense when I'm reading it, but it makes so much sense when I wrote it. But basically, you're in control of what goes on there. So if you're like, oh, I don't think I can do this Beachbody coach thing because they have to share everything about their life. No, you don't. You don't have to say where your kids go to school. You don't have to say you have kids. You can share about your dog. Like, you choose what you want to post about. So just keep that in mind when you get nervous about this business and posting. Okay, this is super important too. If you want to temporarily paralyze your business, rant on social media. Share about your haters, complain, and whine. If you want to temporarily paralyze your business, complain. You will get lots of loving from people that love you, but it's not what's good for your business. And I'm saying this from personal experience. Your job is to inspire people daily, not be bah humbug like everyone else is. Don't fake your happiness, but don't flaunt your misery either. This does not apply to having a low point and needing support from friends and family, not even close. This is about complaining, griping. I've seen a lot of like amazing, inspiring coaches post about like getting a bad parking spot or not having girlfriends because girls don't like them, or, you know, whatever. And I'm just like, God, I thought they were so like amazing and like inspiring. And now I'm like, well, icky, you know? So I've made it a point to, if I feel like I'm having a day, and really and truly since becoming a Beachbody coach and reading personal development, Lindsay, I feel like my mind is completely changed and I'm not that negative Nelly anymore. But yeah, I feel like it can it definitely temporarily, it takes your credibility away. You can recover, but it takes lots of positives So you cancel out the negative. So just keep stuff like that off social media. Call your girlfriend and rant or scream into a pillow. I don't know. Live with your bad parking spot. Oh, this is good too. Add value. If you have a great hobby, trade, love, or something interesting to share, share it. I'm a little bit makeup obsessed, and I saw a cute, easy do-it-yourself makeup idea on Pinterest. And my video went viral, which was crazy. So I saw this video, this idea on Pinterest. And I made it my own. I made like a 45-second video. I just made a little video of me making this like makeup cleaning board. And then I did a second of me like using it to clean my brushes or whatever. And I boosted it on my like page for $10, and it got shared over 100 times and got over 130,000 views, which translated to obviously new followers on my like page. And let me see. And it got liked over 100 times or shared over 100 times. So if people, so think outside the box again about any kind of value you can do. It can be that with recipes or whatever. I didn't say I invented this makeup cleaning board. I said I found it on Pinterest and I wanted to make it. And but if people feel like they can learn something from you, they will follow you because you will be adding value to their life. And it's interesting, like just think about the kind of people that you like to follow. I'm not sure if that post translated into any customers, but I got lots of new followers on my fitness page and a few new coaches that I didn't know. So it was definitely worth the $10. Yay! Like pages. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this one. I'm definitely still learning how to do this like page thing, but I'm looking at this as a long-term strategy to reach my cold market. I target my audience, so I go in my settings, and I target them as 18 to 45, women 18 to 45. I normally do a $10 to boost it and let it run for like 7 days. So it comes to what, like $2 a day. And it gets anywhere from 3,000 to 13,000 views. I guess really 3,000 to 130,000 views. If it's good like that one video that I did. I still have a lot to learn, but I definitely see the value in a like page. So if you don't have one, I would definitely set it up and just slowly starting to build it. And I basically post the same content that I post on my main social media page. But if I feel like it's doing really well, then I'll boost it on my like page just to play around with some numbers. But I don't spend a whole lot of money there yet. It's kind of growing organically, which is really cool. So if I ever need it to really like do a huge boost, then I'll do that. Engagement's great, and I don't mean post like what should I have for dinner, tilapia or ground turkey. I mean post things that require interaction where they talk about themselves, because people love to feel like they are helping you. They like to talk about their personal experiences. So anything you can do in your post to get people talking about their experiences is really good. For example, last year I made a post thinking about laser hair removal. Has anyone done it? And a lot of women were like chiming in on that one. So that's just a good example on an engagement kind of post that is good. Post fitness stuff often, share your life, share your hobbies, but barely post about Beachbody stuff. And this may be horrible, horrible, horrible advice that my coach would slap me across the face for, but I barely post about Beachbody. I do like fitness selfies and, you know, not sweaty makeupless selfies. But I remind people that like I work out and I eat healthy and that kind of stuff, but it's very rarely like Shakeology or doing this program or, you know, whatever. Because if they're following you or if they visit my page, they will know that I use Beachbody. If they sniff around for a second, it's all over there. And if it's not, that's almost better, because then they can say, oh my God, what are you doing? Be raw, open, and honest every now and then so that people will trust you and feel like they know you, so that they will trust you with something as precious and as private as their health and fitness journey. This is huge, guys, huge. It's hard to admit to someone you admire you have a big chunk of weight to lose. Your past and struggles make you seem stronger to your audience, not weaker. My hardest posts to write are the ones that have gotten the greatest feedback. That is where trust happens. In the book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, these are the posts that make people relate to you on such a level that they almost feel guilty rejecting your invite. And even more importantly, it's a great way to attract people like you. So very, very recently I posted, this is just an example, I posted about how I had an eating disorder in middle school that was really bad and just really unhealthy eating habits. And that journey to looking what I thought I needed to. And I got so many messages and so many people that just, it really struck a chord with. And post about me and Adam getting married young and our financial struggles and living in poverty, like those kind of things keep you real to people and they make you think like, geez, she's just like me on some level or another. So I think like not a lot. You don't want like your whole thing to be mushy. You want it to be super inspiring, and you have to keep even those hard posts, right, really inspiring on some level. But I think they're important to throw in every now and then, just so people really feel like they can trust you with something like, hey, I have 50 pounds to lose, because that's really hard to admit, you know. Take the time to engage on other people's threads. This is a huge investment of time, and not just on other Beachbody coaches pages, but if you notice there's a little Danette that is quietly liking all of your posts, or someone you see great potential in, start liking and commenting on their stuff. But don't ever make it about Beachbody. Just be a friend, honestly. A genuine friend, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, kind of how I run my business. I haven't, like, chased anyone down. I did harass this one girl for a year. And she finally said yes, and now she's, like, my highest earner. But everyone else I've just been a genuine friend to. It's not fake. It's just I saw something in them, and I would hope they would see this as flattery, and I hope people that you would reach out to would say the exact same thing, that I saw something in them that I thought was worth friending and exploring, and I really wanted to do this alongside of them. And it's got to be genuine or it's not going to be effective. So in closing, be you, stay positive, post pretty pictures, inspire, be consistent, be a friend, encourage engagement, soul search, view this as a gift, don't overthink your posts, and don't overthink this business. It's truly as simple as working on your health and fitness journey, sharing on social media consistently, inspiring others to live a healthy life. That's it. That's really what this comes down to. Okay. Questions. How do I do this, Lindsay? Chat. Okay. Hey. All right, I don't think I have a question.
Well, maybe, would anyone like to ask a question? Danette, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, you know I'm all about keeping it simple, but when you're in the business, you're like, well, maybe if I did more of that, or maybe if I did more of that, and then all of a sudden it's like not simple anymore, and it's like a lot.
Yes.
So thank you for making us remember that you can actually keep it pretty simple. And when you're in the right place. Okay, everyone's saying absolutely amazing, so good. Does anyone have any questions for Danette?
I do real quick, Linz. For your like page, I heard on a call, I don't remember when, I listened to too many, but that when somebody likes a status on your like page, do you know how to invite them to like your like page? Like if they are not.
As far as I know, and again, I'm very new at this whole like page thing, but as far as I know, You have to be their friend to be able to do that. I know if you go up to the notifications, I think, do you know how to search your friends and invite them to like your like page?
Yeah, I've done that a bunch of times.
Okay. So if they're not your friend, I have no idea how to do that unless you go up to the notifications and it gives you an option that way if you click on their name because it shows you who likes your stuff.
I know how.
I'm looking to see.
Oh,
No.
thanks.
If you're on, Erin, if you click on your post and it's like, so-and-so liked plus 12 others, if you click that, it'll show all their names and it will show if they've liked your page or not. And if not, you can just click invite all the way down. And then most of them will add to your page.
Okay, thanks, Aubrey.
Thanks, Aubrey.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I think I covered it all, so no one has any.
You sure did. Great call, Danette. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
It does. And it's recorded, so it will be forever able to be played back.
That's scary.
No, you did phenomenal. And I made your face really big for a lot of it for the playback video.
Yay.